So today we're learning how to solve two-step equations. We've been solving one-step equations, and now we're just going to add another step. It's as simple as that. All right, so a lot of this lesson is going to be familiar to you. In example 1, we see 3x plus 7 equals negative 5. The first thing we want to do is we're always solving, we're working with the side that the variable is on, okay? And we need to first move the numbers that are not connected to our variable to the other side of the equation. So how can I get rid of positive 7? I can subtract it. Subtract 7, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Subtract 7. And now I need to bring down what's left on that side of the equation, which is my 3x. 3x equals, and what's negative 5 minus 7? Negative 12. Very good. Negative 12. Now, what do I do to solve for x? Divide both sides by 3. And x equals negative 4. Okay, so x equals negative 4. Now, you will be asked to check these solutions, and you check them the exact same way by substituting it back into the original. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12, plus 7 would give you negative 5. All right, so on B, again, we're solving for the side that our variable's on. We have to get all of the numbers not connected to our variable to the other side first. So how do I get rid of 2? I need to subtract 2 from both sides. And I end up with 4y equals 20. Well, I did my first step, but now my second step would be to do what? Because I don't have my answer yet. What do I need to do to get y by itself? Divide both sides by 4. And y equals 5. Mason, what's the first thing I do on C? Very good. Subtract 5 because it's positive. So now I have 2a equals 12. Now what do I do, Amelia?
You divide by 2.
Very good. Divide both sides by 2. And a equals 6. And again, we check these by plugging it back into the original. What's 2 times 6? 12. What's 12 plus 5? 17. So it checks out. All right, now I want you to do the checkpoint on page 120, numbers 1 through 4. Number 1, x equals 1. Number 2?
N equals negative 2.
Very good. Number 3?
R equals negative 4.
And number 4?
H equals negative 3.
Awesome. Who got them all right? All 4. Awesome, guys. Good job. All right, now in example 2, it's very much the same thing. Opposite operation, I'm solving for the side with the variable. All right, so I have x over 2 minus 3. Again, I need to get all the numbers not connected to my variable to the other side first. All right, so I need to add 3 to both sides first. Then I have x over 2 equals 4. Well, how do I get x by itself when I have 2 in the denominator? Does anybody remember from the other day learning this? How do I do it, Alex?
You multiply with fraction.
Okay, multiply by what?
By 4.
No, not by 4, by whatever number is in my denominator, that's what I multiply both sides by. 4 times 2, so x equals 8. So whatever is in my denominator connected to my variable, that's what I multiply by. All right, B. On B, what's the first thing I do, class?
Times the y.
No. What's the first thing I do? Add 6. Add 6 to both sides. Y over 4 equals 11. What do I multiply by? What do I multiply by? 4, both sides by 4. And y equals 44. 44. Okay, so on C, what's the first thing I do on C? What's the first thing I do? I need to add 7. Add 7. How do I get rid of negative 7? I add it. A over 3 equals 24. And what do I multiply by? 3. Both sides by 3. 24 times 3 is 72. A equals 72. All right, I want you to do the checkpoint numbers 6 through 9. All right, what's the answer to the first one?
B equals 36.
All right, very good. What's the answer to the second one?
D equals 48.
Good. What about the third one?
D equals 15.
All right, and the fourth one?
F equals 40.
All right, awesome. Who got all four? All right, great job, guys. Great job. Any questions on example 2? Any questions at all? All right, now in example 3, we're dealing with, all right, what's that word?
Negative.
Negatives, negative coefficient. So we have to make sure we take our sign with us. We still have to eliminate whatever is not connected to our variable. So how do I get rid of a 7? How do I get it to cancel out to the other side? I need to subtract it. If it's positive, I subtract it from both sides. All right, but here's the important part. Here's what I need to remember. I bring down a negative 4y because every term has a sign and the sign is in front of the term. All right, so I bring down my negative 4y equals 12. And now what do I divide by? What do I divide by, guys?
Negative 4.
Divide by negative 4. That changes my whole answer, so don't forget your negative. And y equals negative 3. All right, questions on what I did there? Anybody have any questions? Okay, so on B, what's the first thing I do on B? What's the first thing? I need to subtract 12. Whatever I do to one side, do the exact same thing to the other. And now I bring down what's left. All right, negative 2y equals 6. I've got to rewrite my equation. And now what do I divide by?
Negative 2.
Negative 2, both sides. And y equals? Negative 3. Okay, what about C? What's the first thing I do on C?
Subtract 10 from both sides.
Subtract 10 from both sides. Subtract 10. I'm left with 5a equals 35. Oh, wait, did I forget something? Negative 5a. Bring down my negative. If you forget your negative, it's going to make your answer wrong. So don't forget your signs. Divide by negative 5 and a equals negative 7. All right, working with negatives, I want you to do the checkpoint numbers 10 through 12 on the bottom of page 121. All right, so example 3 checkpoint. We've got, let's see if I have it. Yep, I've got it right here. All right, so what's the first answer?
S equals negative 6.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Negative 6? No, positive 6. What about B? What about B? Negative 1. What about C? Positive 7. Here's why. Here's why. Because we know that an understood 1 is in front of the n. I cannot have a negative variable, so I must divide both sides by a negative 1. Did anybody get all 3 right? Anybody get all 3? Good, good. All right, anybody just missed 1, maybe the last one? Okay, the last one tripped up a lot of people. But guys, hey, listen, stop talking. This is not a conversation right now, okay? I need you to listen, all right? What you need to pay attention to is this variable right here in my original problem that stands alone. I know there's an understood 1 in front of it. I have to deal with that negative. I cannot leave my variable negative in my answer. All right, so it's good to learn it now, right? Not get it wrong on a quiz or a test, so learn it now. If you got it wrong, now you know how to do it right the next time. All right, one more example. We have example 4. We have a drum set problem. We're on the top of page 120. It says you're buying a drum set that costs how much money?
$495.
$495. So that is that part of the answer, or is that my total?
Total.
That's my total. That's how much it cost, $495. So I know my total is $495, but how I pay for it is a broken down. I've got to figure out exactly how I piece it together. It says that I made a down payment of how much money? $150. And then I also am going to pay the rest of it in how many equal payments? 3. So I paid $150 down. That plus 3 equal payments, I don't know how much it is, will give me the $495. First thing I do is deal with my numbers not connected to my variable. Subtract 150. 3p equals 345. Divide both sides by 3. And my payments are $115 each. If I make those payments, I will get to my $495 total in time. All right, so again, just writing an equation, setting it up, and then I solve. If you understand that, that's everything you need to know for 3.1.